Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. Today we are canning up some blueberry pancake syrup. This recipe is going to make 4 of these 500 milliliter or pint jars. And for this recipe you're going to need 5 cups of either fresh or frozen blueberries. I'm using ones from the farmer's market. 2 cups of water, 1.5 cups of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a teaspoon of either almond extract or vanilla extract, whatever you prefer. We're doing vanilla in ours. So there's a couple different ways that you can make this recipe. It all depends on how you want your syrup to be. So if you are looking for that maple syrup consistency with no chunks of blueberry in it, once we're done cooking these down, you would use a cheesecloth over a container and strain the blueberries from the liquid for about 2 hours. I personally am just going to keep the chunks of blueberry in the syrup because I don't want to waste them. For me, it's just a waste of the blueberry and the nutrients and all that good stuff that's found in the skin, and it's a waste of money for me personally. I don't mind a little bit of blueberry chunk inside or a little bit of fruit inside on my pancakes and waffles and ice cream and stuff like that, so we're going to keep it. But to start this recipe, we are going to put in the blueberries into a stock pot onto the stove. So let's start there. So I've got the 5 cups of blueberries. To that I am going to add the 1.5 cups of sugar over top. And then I am going to add our 2 cups of water. I'm going to mix that around. Make sure the sugar is all in the water there, and then we're going to turn our stove on to high, and we're going to bring this up to a boil. Now make sure that you're constantly stirring so that sugar doesn't burn to the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and get this to a boil. So it's been about 5 minutes, and now we are at a boil. So now we are going to turn it down to low, and we're going to let it simmer for 5 minutes. And make sure in those 5 minutes that you are still stirring it to make sure that nothing's burning to the bottom. I'm actually going to put a timer on for 5 minutes because otherwise I'll forget about this. Okay, so it's been simmering for 5 minutes. Now at this point we're going to add our tablespoon of lemon juice and our teaspoon of whatever extract you're using. And we're going to mix that around well, making sure to really incorporate them together. Now it's at this point you're going to decide what kind of syrup you want. If you want the blueberries removed from the syrup, it's at this point you're going to strain it with a cheesecloth for the 2 hours to remove the blueberries from the syrup. Like I said, I'm okay with the blueberry pieces in here, but I am going to take a potato masher and actually just mash them up a little bit smaller because they're like the skins are left, but they're a little bit full. I would want them just a little bit not so full. So I'm going to, like I said, mash these up a little bit. I'm not going to strain it. I'm good with those pieces in there. And then once I've mashed them up just a little bit more, at this point we are going to can them into our sterilized mason jars. Okay, so here I go ladling everything into our jars. And we are going to leave about a 1/4 inch headspace at the top of the jar. And you're going to take a damp cloth and wipe the rim to make sure there's no debris on the rim of the jar. And now we are going to go in for one of our hot lids, and we're going to slap it on there. And then we're going to put a band on just finger tight. And now it's ready to be put in the canner. So I'm going to do that with all 4 of these jars and get them ready for the boiling water canner. Okay, so I've dropped them into my boiling water canner, and these are going to process in here for about 15 minutes. Just to let you also know, I only got 3 pints out of this and a little bit for the fridge, so it doesn't make a full 4 pints. I guess if you wanted to make it stretch more, you could do the little jam jars, the half pints. But for now, we're gonna let these go for 15 minutes. And here is our blueberry pancake syrup. Just like that, super easy. Follow us along for more awesome gardening and canning tutorials. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.